You are now entering the Whose House podcast.
Yo, that has to be the most intense intro I've ever heard, man. Like, I feel like fighting people right now.
Do you know how jarring that song is? And, you know, we're in here. And listen, we know he's coming in the building, but, you know, you hear that in an arena where it's like thousands and thousands of people, and
God.
it still like rattles to the rooftop. But to be in this studio with the $1 million sound system that we have in here, it's insane. And then he walks in and he's like 28 feet tall.
Larger than life.
You know, but we are with the Nigerian giant. We are with OMOS, and we are with, my God, man.
I'm really old, man. He brought back the feeling when I met Andre the Giant, man, for the first time, man. I was like,
and he's bigger than Andre the Giant.
Yeah, he's taller. That's what's crazy.
And man, we are with an absolute legend in my humble opinion. Man, we got MVP in the building.
I'm very flattered, man. Very flattered.
Nah, listen, Pete, I gotta give you your props, man. You have been one of those dudes that have supported everything that I, Wale, and Kaz have done with Wale Mania since the beginning. So, you know, when you came in Thursday and did the toast for us, it's like a symbolic gesture every time you come on and you do the Wale Mania toast. It's like you celebrate the next.
It's tradition.
And it's always it didn't start that way. It just started out as, well, you know, he's an OG solidified.
Oh, solidified, yeah.
So you wanna, you know, so he was one of our guest of honors. So we always wanted to do that. So, you know, then it just started coming up with, well, who's here? Oh wait, P's here. You give him a microphone, a promo's getting cut, and we can just sit back, hit our toast, and all relax like gentlemen and ladies, and it just becomes this thing. So, P, we always appreciate what you do for us. It means a lot.
I'm very glad to be on the guest list. You know, I got an open invite. You know, you guys always invite me, and it's always a good time. And
right.
I mean, for me and for you, and you know, hip hop and wrestling are inextricably intertwined.
Yes.
You know, it's wrestle rap. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
Gangster, and I'm mad at him. He got the freaking high top Travises, man.
P's got money, man. P's got money.
I do this Cannabis and Kicks podcast, and we've been trying to get
Cannabis and Kicks. You speak in my language.
Yeah.
That's definitely his language.
Oh yeah. We gotta get you on there. But the fact is, I've been trying to get these sneakers forever, and he walks in with them. I want to kill this guy.
Yes, I had the same vicious reaction. So I was like, "Whoa, do you even know
talk,
what those are?"
You should talk. What you got on?
Yeah, man. I got a retro 4s on. You know.
Yeah, but how hard is it for you to get sneakers in a size? Because do they even? What shoe size are you?
I wear size 18. So like, it's
all the girls are running. You know? See ya.
So you got me there. You know, but in all seriousness, you know, for me, in high school, I couldn't really get any shoes, and I couldn't afford to get any shoes either way. I just got what was given to me. And once I got to college, when I was in high school, I kind of figured out all the sites to buy shoes for large men.
Right.
So I was like, over like the span of 3 years, I was like scouting the internet, eBay, Amazon.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, I can get shoes here. They have my sizes here. And then once I got to college and I got that first scholarship money, I was buying sneakers. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. But I remember when I was at University of South Florida, I met he played for the Knicks, Jared. I forget his last name. He was signed with the Jordan brand, and then he comes to play that summer when they had the NBA lockout.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He's playing that summer. He sees me. He's like, "Hey, what size you wear?" I says 18. He said, "Tomorrow after we're done playing, just come outside to my pickup truck." So I come outside the next day, and he has a whole truck full of sneakers, Jordans, size 18s, like
And they look
30
good.
pairs of shoes.
They don't look like boats. They look like normal.
Yeah, they look normal. Hey, man.
They
I
don't
make it
they're
look good. What
proportional
can I
to his
say?
body.
Yeah,
They
they
are.
don't look like boats.
They are.
If I put those shoes on, I would look like one of those idiots that wear those Astro Boy boots, them red boots.
I can float to Haiti in the
Them just ugly. But luckily enough, Jordans do make size 18, so I'm lucky enough to snag size 18s every now and then for the low, you know.
So were you like, when did like the growth spurt happen? Like when was it like in your like
So I had 2 growth spurts. I was always tall, and by the
Oh,
time
wow,
I was
2.
like, yeah. So by the time I was like 11 years old, I was only about like 6 foot. By the time I was 12,
11?
Yes. By the time I was like 12, I was like 6'1", 6'2", and between 12 and 13 was summer, I grew to like 6'7".
Yo.
So like in like sort of 2 years, I grew like almost like 8 inches. I grew a lot, and then over the next 2 years, I grew another like 6 inches. By the time I was 15, I was already 6'11".
Yo, no, I want to ask you because you hear about growing pains. Did you experience growing that quickly?
Never.
Wow.
I never had growing
Well, he's
pains.
Nigerian.
Hey,
okay,
Nigerians
fair.
built
Yeah, built
differently,
different,
man.
yeah,
No, never had any growing pains.
Here's a very impressive optic.
Okay.
You're on Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar's in the ring.
Yes.
You come out in a suit, in a turtleneck, looking very intimidating against somebody that looked like they literally just killed a polar bear.
That's true.
And you come out and you stand face to face with arguably the beast incarnate.
Hold on, let me correct you. Stood face to chest.
Face to chest.
Face to chest, yeah.
And literally, you looked down at the man, which is no easy feat.
That shit look crazy.
You know, we watched that clip, and
That was crazy.
Who Kid says Brock is a scary man, and I have to agree with him. But you really came in there and face to chest. The optic of just the size difference really just shows how big you actually are.
And then he palmed Brock's face and pulled him in and held his entire head like a basketball and told him, I'm going to beat your ass, and threw him out the ring.
Pretty much.
I mean, you want to talk about picking a shot and then shooting the shot. I mean, it's no easy test. Like what do you equate that to? Like that is, because that takes that's impressive.
I mean, he said I am Nigerian, so that is it's an easy fit for me.
Right.
I'm one of the lucky DJs that actually tour all of Nigeria. I did all 4 or 5 cities there for MTV Africa.
So that means you did Lagos,
Abuja,
Port Harcourt.
Oh wow, okay.
I
think there's starts with a W, the 4th one. Damn.
Having the best. I can't remember the other 2.
It's all I remember is there was no planes. I had to go. I had an army, and it took me from city to city.
So, it's changed now.
Oh, it's changed now.
It's changed now.
This is like 15 years ago.
Oh, because I was just there last year for the first time in 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't even look the same.
Wow.
Yeah. So you probably came like 2004,
2003. Yeah.
But how's it feel to go home again now that you have a cachet of celebrity to you? Is it different now?
It's very different. At first, I didn't think people were going to know who I was or what I did, and to my own, I was very shocked once I got there. Like the amount of people who knew, the thugs, they're calling my name.
Wow.
When I got out of the airport, like OMOS, you reach Nigeria, hey, we here. Like I was like, yo, like this is like surreal, and like it was like a hero's welcome going back home, and I was very, very shocked. Even like talking to the new vice president, like see me in the hotel, and
isn't that crazy how
Man had
politically
an audience with the vice president.
Isn't that crazy?
It was like crazy to see like someone who was just recently like the vice president, like hey, coming to greet me and like greeting my mom, and it was very surreal because I come from humble backgrounds, with like middle class African Nigeria, which is poor, and for mom to get such recognition from a powerful man was, it was full circle for us.
But wait until you go back to Nigeria as WWE champion.
Oh my God, that's gonna be
when
too
you're
much.
a national hero and you get the parades and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your future.
That's gonna be crazy.
I ain't gonna front. That's how it was when we landed with 50 Cent. The whole country came, at the airport, and we were shocked. We were like, why is the whole country here? But I guess 50 Cent, it was like, I never saw so much chaos. And we had jewelry on, so I was like,
my jewelry.
yo, I was like, yo, I was like running in the car. But it was,
That's when y'all had that thing with Idris Abdul Karim, right?
we had beef. And he came back. Yeah, we came back with like 40 Africans surrounded the
Who
place.
don't you have beef with?
50 Cent, man. That's what I get.
So did the Nigerians hold rifles to your face as well?
Yeah.
Of course,
They're about to leave.
it's on
I
brand.
think the story was like you guys had done the tour and something happened at the award event.
Yeah, we were supposed to take off to the last show, but out of courtesy, 50 Cent allowed the opening acts to fly with us. But when we got on the plane this time, he was on the plane, but he was sitting in 50 Cent's seat. We didn't care about everybody in the back and do whatever you want. Like 50 ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? But we just wanted to sit. Like 50 wanted to be by himself with Olivia to talk and chill. But he was on the seat, so he wouldn't get up. So all of a sudden, all I heard is, yo, you got like 10 seconds to get up. All I heard is 1, 2, 3. Once we got on 3, they didn't even go to 10. So I'm trying to tell him, yo, they moved the staircase. You know, the staircase to walk up the plane. I said, yo, it's not there. They threw him off the plane with no staircase. So he just fell on the. So everybody's laughing, but we didn't know who he really was. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't know he was gangster like that until we saw the pilot crying. Cause the pilot lives there. The pilot's like, yo, they gonna kill my family. I don't know why. You know what you did? If we still didn't understand how the severity of the situation until we saw like 100 Africans climbing over the gates with Uzis, whatever they had, the AKs, whatever they got, they surrounded the plane. He told the guy to turn the plane off. He turned it off like a car. And then he stood there, and then that was it. And then I don't even know how we got out of there. We apologized, or we said something, and then we got out of there on some miracle. But we left everything on the plane, though. Like, everything was left behind. I went back to New York with a tank top, shorts, slippers, and it was wintertime.
Oh, damn.
I left everybody left equipment, and it was just like, but it was just like a big misunderstanding. It didn't even need to go that far, but.
Home court advantage is a motherfucker.
You don't, and Nigeria is a place you like. You're not surviving Nigeria. Like if you go in there, you got beef. You can't like just like hide there.
No.
Everybody, you know, they had the 419 boys and all that shit going on.
Yeah. Damn, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he said 419. Oh wow, you know, yeah, okay.
Do not go downstairs if they call your room.
Omos, is it difficult? Was it difficult growing up in Nigeria because of that gang culture?
To be honest, it was just regular.
Yeah, it's regular life over there for them. Right. It's desensitized.
Like I grew up
with
with the gangs living in front of our house, and like they did my mom, and then like they saw us like these posh kids who went to school, and they were just cool.
You were tall. Did you ever meet Voltron? He was tall just like you. They had a big guy named Voltron. He protected us, but he stopped when he saw your boy came. So like,
And back then when I came,
what do you think is gonna? What do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah, he ain't bulletproof, you know. Like.
The man shut the plane off like it was a car. You aren't going anywhere.
But 50's not stupid. 50 was like, all right, this guy threatened my life, and then they made up or whatever. But he did say he was going to kill 50 in the next city. Once 50 hears that, no matter how much making up there is or talking,
going back.
50 was like, I'm out of here. We went to the airport. We bought 30 last-minute tickets for everybody on the tour, and we connected in Paris. We were like in seat 69A. Like, we didn't give a fuck. We got on any plane, Africa Air.
Was on the first thing smoking.
Out of here, and we went all the way to New York. Nigga, I left everything behind. Like, wow. That's how crazy that shit was, man. But yo, your country's gangster, man. Like
it's changed a lot. It's changed.
All right, if you say so. If you say so, yo, can he survive there? Can Emilio survive?
I just said just go with the right people and just it's pretty.
But I'm smart though. I know when to check in with the big homies.
Okay.
So if I'm going out there, I'm checking in.
I just say as long as you have good security that are armed.
Yeah. Or you just check in with the big homies that run things out there. And you be like, listen, I'm going to roll through. Let's go to dinner on me. And we'll go and hang out for a little while.
You can go that route too. So either way it works.
Do you see yourself being the next president or some kind of like big political guy? I mean, he's going to help you.
No, not in
He would be a great campaign manager.
To be the president of Nigeria is a huge tax, which I
MVP be like, yo, we got to control the gold mine.
So
right away, we nationalizing everything.
So this is something I would like to know, and maybe P could chime in with this as well. Omos, your character is real stern and serious, and you're menacing. But here, you're utter delight. Do you ever Do you ever want to?
MVP
I'm Pop P. That's it. That's a highlight for me.
No, I just got to don't lose your train of thought. But I'm telling OMOS all the time, he is genuinely one of the most wonderful, delightful, warm human beings.
Utterly delightful.
Teddy bear.
The proverbial gentle giant. And I'm always man, get fucking mad, man. What the? Stop smiling, man. Fuck him up.
So much so that at Wale Mania last year, you did not know me, but you hugged me.
Really?
Well, look at this photo.
He's like a big teddy
I
bear
made
at the carnival.
This is a Christmas card.
But to be honest, you were very welcoming. You were very respectful.
Thank you.
made sure I was good.
Thank you,
Like,
yeah.
This was the first time meeting you, and you made sure like I was good. I could find I was okay. So like, of course.
You're my guy, man. I
And then you hear
appreciate
that big, booming, warm laughter.
Yeah.
Like a black Santa.
So, do you ever really want to show a little bit more of this into what the Nigerian Giant is on WWE programming?
No.
Okay, there you go.
No,
Enough said.
yes, no, and to be honest, I think everything is timing. I think there's going to be a right time for this.
Okay.
And now is not the right time.
Yeah.
Whenever that time comes, it's going to be a huge payoff. Whenever I get to show this part of myself.
Oh shit, he's gonna do Nollywood. I can't believe it.
So you have had two great mentors, one in MVP, and the other in AJ Styles.
More than two.
And so much so that you've already had an incredible WrestleMania moment with AJ Styles when you and AJ won the Raw Tag Team Championships. How do you feel walking into this WrestleMania as a solo performer, and you're going into what, year 4, maybe 5?
Year 4,
Year 4?
and this is my third WrestleMania.
Your third WrestleMania.
Wow.
So
Yes.
to think about where you came from and how I think the American viewing audience seen you originally as a bouncer on Raw Underground.
Oh, it was longer than that. Y'all forget I was a ninja.
I was about to just get into the ninja.
The final boss ninja.
The final boss ninja. They had him dressed up as a ninja,
I had a sword and everything.
were the sleeves cut off the gi?
It sure was.
Yeah, and you were running around with Tozawa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that was me.
And he had the mask on,
No
and
way.
he did not blend in. When you think of stealthy ninjas, it was just this giant man, and I was like, that's when you caught my attention. Then I seen you on
That's
Raw
when he
Underground.
caught everybody's attention because we were like, who the fuck is this giant? I didn't know about him yet. And when I saw the giant ninja, I'm like, wait, is he? Where'd they find this dude?
Then you're on Raw Underground, and I'm like, that's the ninja! and then, like, you're giving Shane McMahon daps, and then the next thing you know, you're with AJ Styles, you win a
Yeah,
championship.
there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, right that in there. Look at the size of it.
Oh my god, that is crazy.
I think that was a segment we had with Big Show. Yes, that was.
Not another giant of a human being.
Maybe that's where the ninja word came from. You know how white people say ninja? Yo, what up, my ninja?
No,
Came
I don't
from
say
him?
that. I don't say
okay.
that.
Okay.
I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
Yo, this guy started
Hard
that
pass,
shit.
Pop. Hard pass.
Nah, giant ninja. Yo, that shit is crazy.
But
yo.
that was trending on Twitter because people did not know what was going on. So you are the giant ninja.
Hell yeah.
I guess. Yeah,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
GN, yeah.
So let's talk about the mentorship, right?
Okay.
Like what knowledge has P dropped and what gems has AJ dropped, and how do you take a little bit from column A and column B going into this WrestleMania?
Oh, hold on. You left out column C.
What's the column C?
The dead man.
The dead man.
The Dead Man.
The Dead Man.
Gong, walk out, rest in peace. Wow. All right, so let's talk about that. Undertaker, man.
Speed dial.
Let's go. You have 3 of the best
Yes.
dropping gems for you.
Yes.
Where are you taking those columns from, and how do you mix it together to figure out what you want to be?
To be honest, everything. I'm taking in as much as I can because, this, combined, I think they'll have about, AJ has 20, he has about 25, Deadman has about 30, 40 years in this business. So, like, that is like 80, 100 years of wrestling combined, right? And I'm grateful, to be in a position where, I still have a relationship with AJ Styles, current MVP, and Undertaker, and those guys instill such an immense amount of knowledge upon me about the business in general and how to move into business and how to be a giant and how to carry yourself as a professional and understand that this is fun, but this is also a job and the expectations are half it, but also to remember to have fun. So like they have done a great job of keeping me, on the right path, and I'm grateful because not everybody gets to have this type of mentors.
Right.
Hall of Fame mentors.
Yeah. You know, now you mentioned the word business a couple of times, and I would be remiss to not bring up the Hurt Business and how important that was.
Motherfuckers got the game on lock.
That's what I'm saying. And so let's talk about the Hurt Business and what that has done, or what that did for the period of time that it ran the shop during a real pivotal point in the company's career when it was the Thunderdome era, yeah.
Like
you guys were there were a lot of performers that really rose to the occasion, and you know, I think what the Hurt Business did really not only just elevated the gentleman that you represented, but the television was very compelling, and it felt like, because there really wasn't a crowd, that it was really, for this time, was really for us. And you know, Black Twitter, wrestling Twitter specifically, really rallied behind the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
P, why do you think, was it lightning in a bottle that you guys released, and you knew going into this that it was going to be what it was, and people really were touched by it?
No, I didn't know that beforehand. I mean, there's been a few times on Twitter where people are always, you know, oh, you should put this guy in the Hurt Business and put this guy in the Hurt Business. You just want to put all the random black wrestlers together to be the Hurt Business. But what people don't take into consideration, and what I've tried to explain, is that Bobby and I are friends across different companies through different countries. Wow. Shelton is my friend. He lives less than 5 minutes from me. That's my brother. We go way back. Cedric was a friend of Shelton's from Ring of Honor when Shelton was at Ring of Honor for a while. So Shelton signed off on Cedric. I didn't know Cedric, but Shelton said, yeah, that's my dude. Then that makes you my dude. Wow. So the chemistry was very real and organic. All of us have legitimate grappling backgrounds, and all of us are legitimate real dudes. So that chemistry wasn't, it was organic. It wasn't something manufactured for TV. And then once, and it's funny, here's a funny story, you guys will appreciate this. Shelton Benjamin loves wearing athletic gear. That's, you know, and one day we were riding, during the pandemic, the PC actually, we're riding the PC era. We're riding together, and I told him, like, hey man, why don't you dress up a little bit? You know, like, you always fly. You always got on fly sneakers and, you know, sweats and athletic gear. And Shelton was like, nah, that's just not how I care to dress. I'm like, yeah, but you know, it's business. You know, you suit and tie. You know, you don't have to wear a suit and tie. But he was like, look, man, you make your money your way, I'll make my money my way. I said, okay, cool, I respect that.
See you.
But once the Hurt Business started coming together, we had a meeting with Vince. And Vince was like, oh, yeah, and MVP and Bobby, you guys always have great suits on, and Shelton's got a nice pair of jeans on, ha, ha, ha. And then, yeah, and you guys look great, and Shelton got a nice pair of jeans on, and Shelton said, I ain't need to hear that shit twice. Next week, Shelton was at the tailor getting measured up for suits.
No way.
And I think he dropped several $1,000s on a bunch of custom-made suits.
Wow.
And then a little while after that, we were all in our suits and ties, and Vince was like, look at this, I love this, this is it, this is how you guys look like businessmen. And I said, Shelton, how you making your money, baby?
So, you know, it's kind of been teased, you know, several months now, that we could get a possible Hurt Business reunion. Where do we see that going, and where does the Nigerian Giant fit into all of this?
If I had my druthers, I'd rather be a Bobby Heenan-like figure.
Oh, wow.
Where I could represent the Nigerian Giant and represent the Hurt Business. And, I mean, let's just be realistic. If you put the Nigerian Giant in the Hurt Business, then nobody could beat us. Ever.
Right. It'd be over.
You'd have to put the whole roster together to beat us.
Nobody would believe that you guys are losing.
Yeah, like, you know, people would throw shit at the TV if we lost. Oh, you fuck out here, man, you know.
Pretty much.
So, I would like, because car's subject to change. You know, we don't know what's going on. You know, it seems that a reunion could be in the works, and that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm fighting for. But I would like to keep OMOS as a break glass in case of emergency type figure. Let him do his thing, and hey, when we need some big guns, I know a guy. You know,
make that phone call.
So, a few years ago, when me and you were on that Wally 5 stage, me and you spoke about that you were at the end of the road.
Yeah.
You were done. You were tired. Wrestling was very good to you. Then something changed. What changed that you were back on episodic, weekly television, basically full time? Like, was it
fatherhood?
Okay, because I was going to ask, was it fatherhood? Was it mentoringship? Like, what was it that really brought you back to become a standout character weekly?
I was ready to retire. I had a hell of a run, had a great time, but I was just at the point where I'd feel like I'm ready to hang up my bumping shoes, as they say, and then move on to whatever the next phase of my life and career would be. And my son was he was 5 at the time, 4, turning 5, and he discovered wrestling. And all of a sudden, he asked me the one question that no wrestling dad ever wants to hear. He walks up to me and goes, "Daddy, do you know John Cena?"
Oh, hell no.
Oh, fuck. But we were standing in the aisle one day at I can't remember if it was Walmart or Target, one of those, and we're looking at the toys in the aisle, and he knows everybody's names, and I'm standing there going, "That's my dude, that's my dude, that's my boy," And I thought, wait a minute, man, like, I want my son to see Daddy up there. He's never seen Daddy in the ring. Well, he did. I did a show for Booker T one time, and that's the first time he saw Daddy wrestle. But now he knows. He would ask me about WWE wrestling. "Daddy, you know WWE wrestling?" And I'm like, yeah, I know WWE wrestling. So the Royal Rumble was in Houston, and I reached out to Paul Heyman because I'm a Paul Heyman guy. And he was in charge of Raw at the time. And Paul Heyman and I had talked quite a bit about, fatherhood and my son, because I never wanted kids. My son was it was her plan, not mine kind of deal,
Yeah.
But he changed my life, and he makes me a better human being. So I just wanted him to see me one time at WWE wrestling,
Fire.
So I called Heyman and I asked him if it was all right if I could be a surprise entry in the Royal Rumble, and Heyman said, "Done." Wow. I didn't talk to him about money. I didn't care. All I wanted was floor seats for my son, so he could see me. That's all I asked for.
Damn.
Done deal. Because my intent was just one night. That's all I wanted. And then Heyman asked me if I could make it to San Antonio the next night, and I was like, "Yeah, sure," And Rey Mysterio was my son's favorite wrestler.
Wow.
So that night, Heyman, I'm not under contract or anything. He put me on Monday Night Raw in a match with Rey Mysterio, so my baby boy could see
He
Daddy
must have been crazy.
wrestle. His mother sent me a video of him in front of the TV doing my whole entrance and everything, and I was moved to tears. I was like,
Wow,
man. And then after that, they asked me, after the match, right away, they called me to the back and said, "Hey, listen, we'd be interested in bringing you back as a producer. We like how your approach to the business, your mind for the business." And I was going to retire anyway, so I was like, all right, let's give it a try. 90-day trial period. We'll, if I like it, if they like it, we'll see. And then the pandemic hit, and I got a text on Wednesday that I was released from my contract as a producer, which I was like, last one hired, first one fired.
Wow.
I was expecting that.
Yeah.
But at that point, they were already using me every week on TV because they had me, in the very beginning while I was still a producer, they had me doing those get-over segments with Drew. And then they had me do something with Edge. And then before I know it, they said, no, don't worry about your producer stuff. We need you to do this. So I was on TV every week as talent, which was fine for me because that's an extra paycheck. Yeah, so I was all good with it, And then when the pandemic hit and I got the text that I was released, I got another text a little bit later that we need you at TV on Monday.
That's crazy.
And I said, well, you guys made a mistake. I got fired. No, we need you as talent on Monday. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. It's a pandemic. And what started off as one night turned into I'm back.
And the rest writes itself.
Card subject to change.
Incredible.
Isn't it crazy that you survived like the beginning? I've interviewed a lot of classic wrestlers from Hulk to Ric Flair, and that time period was crazy. Like they were wilding back then. Now it's like business. You don't look like the type that be wilding out.
Nah, he ain't wild though. He ain't wild. He's a good guy.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like
No, but I came in when I came into the business.
could imagine.
I came in the tail end of the old way.
that was crazy.
Yeah,
I almost
You
can't
did.
believe what they were doing back then.
Listen, it was a different time. It was Cowboys and Indians, man. It was wild, And WWE when I first signed had just started being corporate, so you still had the old locker room ways.
So it was unorganized, like crazy.
No, it was organized. It just
Okay.
wasn't corporate.
Oh, okay.
It was
The
still
boys
very
like to
organized.
party,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah, then they were hazing and wilding out, and pills in the locker room and beer, and it was,
Yeah.
You lucky you came in at the right
Hey,
time.
man, I came in at the perfect time.
yeah, he came, But then I'll say this: the wellness program changed everything because I lost a lot of colleagues and friends
Yeah, that's right.
to pills primarily, you know. And once they instituted the wellness program, we used to joke around and say, ever since they put in the wellness program, I don't feel so well.
Oh shit.
But it saved a lot of lives. And,
Absolutely.
And because WWE is the industry leader, everybody plays follow the leader. So when I first came up, I used to see young guys trying to impress the older guys by taking pills and hey, look how much I can do, and hey, look, I'm cool like you. But the entire industry has changed.
Yeah, the landscape.
The landscape, the pills aren't cool anymore. Now you go in the locker room, dudes are playing PlayStation and Madden and
Wearing Jordans and shit.
yeah, exactly. No one, dudes ain't drinking
Iced
beer; they're
out.
drinking protein shakes now.
Bringing meal preps.
And that's what I
Yeah,
to
guys
me,
got their bags of meal preps.
that's
yeah.
the thing that I'm into because I'm into my working out. I'm
Juicing
into my
and all
health.
that
Green juice, man. Like I'll
do
drink
that
a kale smoothie. We gotta get. That's what I gotta bring next time I see OMOS. We gotta
Ain't
bring
no
my kale
Nigerian
smoothie.
drinking no green juice. That's
Why?
everybody
It's
knows.
an
Hey,
elixir.
smoothie,
Okay. So all right. So listen, two more things, and then we want to close.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
The music, P.
Yes.
When did we start doing this? Because you have
Smoke
some
Dizza.
Smoke Dizza.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah, man,
That's
I
why
love
I was like,
Smoke
yo,
Dizza.
do we got weed in here or something?
West Side Gun. What are we doing?
So, I've been rhyming since I was a kid, and it was never anything that I wanted to pursue as a career. It was just something I enjoyed doing. I was pretty decent at it, and I put some music out just on my own.
Yeah.
And when the Hurt Business jumped off, and I had actually met Smoke Dizza and West Side Gun at Wale Mania.
Wow.
Some years ago, and my man Poison Pen put
Yes.
me up on Griselda.
Wow.
Before they blew up, he was like, I think you'll like these dudes, and I'm like Benny and Conway, and I'm listening to them like,
Super
yo,
aggressive,
I
huh?
love this.
Yeah.
This is my era shit, this
is
is
fire.
that boom
I
bap.
know y'all fuck with. You don't have to tell me. Yo.
So when it's funny how that happened. The Hurt Business jumped off. I lost my phone that week, and I had a throwaway phone until I got my phone replaced, and I get all these text messages and links to the Hurt Business song, and I'm like, what? Did you hear about this? You know about this? So I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. And then I hear Wale, Alhamdulillah, most valuable like Hassan Assad. I'm like, oh, Wale, you put my whole government out there, man.
Yeah, man.
But I hit up Dizza, and I'm like, Dizza, man, you put out a Hurt Business joint, and you don't put me on it.
Yeah,
That's
call
that.
you for that. Yeah.
And Dizza said, man, send me 16. We'll do a remix.
Wow.
So I sat down, put my pen to paper, and worked it out, and I sent it to him, and the remix dropped. And I got so much love from that. Everybody loved my verse, and I got pride. And a cosign from Wale, Smoke Dizza, and West Side Gun. And that inspired me to start writing and recording again. So I was like, man, all right, let me just start doing stuff because it reignited that creative spark. And, Dizza's my dude. Now we tight. Me and Dizza did a song together called Legalize It. We had a blast with that. And, now, I got a single There's With Poison Pen is dropping April 1st.
We got it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leak it.
And that's what we're gonna. Yeah, that's what we're gonna close on. We're gonna close on
leak it, right?
on the single. Of course we are. I mean, if P allows it.
Absolutely. It's going to be on all streaming platforms April 21st. But yeah, you can leak it now.
All right.
And my partner in rhyme, Dwayne Swayze, I put him together with Smoke Dizzin. I kind of executive produced a joint called Full Circle.
Oh wow.
And it's funny because I'm a huge fan of the A-Team back in the day. Remember Hannibal would say, "I love it when a plan comes together."
That's fire.
So I got two of my favorite MCs and two of my boys that I put together on the joint, and I'm on there and I love it when a plan comes together. Right. So I'm living my best life, man. I'm in WWE. I'm chilling with my man OMOS. We doing big things, literally big things.
Big things.
Doing music for fun, and life is good, man.
Well, Omos, we just want to say, man, good luck on doing everything that you're doing, from becoming Super Ninja to what you are now. It's great because we had Carmelo and Trick up here, and we were talking about developing in real time, and seeing you develop in real time has been one of the more interesting aspects of this really bubbly thing that we've known as professional wrestling. And to see you develop in real time on TV and to get the time that you're getting is really exceptional. So
Thank you.
I got to tell you what's exceptional. I got to make sure everybody understands is his attitude.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Two things: his attitude and his aptitude. Because I'm the OG in the room now, so guys always come and ask me for advice or my take on things. And in pro wrestling, it's expected that the young guys go and ask the OGs for, hey, would you watch my match? And a lot of the time, you give them suggestions or you tell them what to do or correct things, and they don't do it.
Right.
Anything you point out to Omos, or if you show him something, the next time he's in the ring, you see it. You see him apply it.
Wow.
And it's been great for me because I got the best seat in the house. So I've been able to watch him, like you said, up close and personal. Apply those lessons.
You know who told me that about you? Sorry. You know who told me that about you? And he's a dear friend of mine. He's like a brother to me. EJ and Duca.
Man,
The judge.
The judge, yeah.
That is another badass in the ring.
Yeah.
So what P says, EJ was telling me.
Oh, wow.
So it's dope to see, man.
Yep.
It really is.
Man,
So
I appreciate it.
We just want to tell you good luck this week. And if you want to watch Omos do what he do, WrestleMania is a 2-night star-studded event, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is a special event on Peacock. So go and check it out. And you guys are on Monday Night Raw every Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Plug your social medias, and then P, let's introduce his record.
My social media is at the 305 MVP. Everything I do is that. And let me say this real quick though, before you plug your social media. You're talking about him going from being the super ninja. It was funny.
Yeah.
This big giant ninja.
Yeah.
Now he's about Omos, the Nigerian giant, is about to step into the ring at WrestleMania and face Brock Lesnar.
About to go down.
From the super ninja to the Nigerian giant, having the literal biggest match of WrestleMania, the biggest match of his career. And I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of seeing where he's been to where he's at. And let's keep in mind, he's only 30.
Right.
So we got another decade and a half of his growth and greatness ahead.
It's like what Big E says, just big meaty men slapping meats.
Yeah.
But the energy is it's kind of like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan brought back, kind of like everybody, that anticipation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting that vibe and stuff like that. My curiosity with you is, when you were a kid in Nigeria, like, were there wrestlers you used to look up to? Like, was that something you wanted to be, or that's so random? Like, you're in Nigeria, and I would never think that.
I mean, I used to watch wrestling with my grandmother, and
They had that out there.
Yeah,
Like,
they had it. I used to watch with my grandmother loved wrestling.
Was it the Great Power Udi?
I never knew about the Great Power Udo until when I came to the States. And
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But back home, I remember watching, WrestleMania, was it 5 in Vegas? When
Nine.
Nine. Undertaker.
Undertaker, yeah.
Yes, and Giant Gonzalez. I remember watching that with my grandmother vividly, right? And I was always like a casual fan and watch. I never looked up to any wrestlers because when I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist, so I joined a paint.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, so I
That's
had
so random,
I
too.
know I had a completely
The
different
hell?
skills of what I wanted to do in my life.
Artist?
Yes, so I just grew.
And a good one, too.
Yes, I just.
The
growth
Negro
just
Da
took off,
Vinci
yes.
Code, yeah.
I just grew tall, and the plans changed from being an artist to being to go to basketball, and now here. So.
Oh man, yo, you're amazing.
Your
yo.
Thank
social
you,
media,
thank
hit
you.
with
And my
your
social
social
media, all my socials: Twitter, Instagram, the Giant OMOS.
Listen, guys.
OMOS.
OMOS.
We
yes.
appreciate you guys tapping in.
Thank
good,
you.
Good luck this weekend. And
Absolutely.
Pete, introduce this record.
This song is called The Real MVP with yours truly, Wade Out Black, and Poison Pen.
See ya.
When we knocking outside, yo, Big got me out here in Brooklyn.
How many cheats we knocked out? How much dirty work we need to put in? What's up, nigga? I'm the real MVP.
Look at my whip. Look at my wrist. Look at my chains. Look at my bitch.
MVP, you all know my name. You know my goddamn MVP, you all out we bang.
Don't do it like me, you don't do it the same. Look how she moving. She do it like whoa. She wanna fuck with a G. She wanna fuck with a pro. I'm the real MVP. DDT still cage. Down to get it still gang. Russian chick wanna suck me off. One ring, 2 chains. I can show you how I do things. Nigga like me got mood swings. Click deeper than Wu-Tang. Homie, yeah. Wait up, black. I've been feeling kamikaze. Yeah. Don't make me go get your body. Yeah. Loving my jewels, she love how I move. She loving the rave, she loving my jewels. I'm drinking the liquor and breaking the rules. Wait, I black in the building. I got the feeling they holler my name. She brought out her friends. I lit up the hookah and brought out the gang.
Yeah. MVP, you all know my name.
You know my name.
MVP, we poppin' champagne. Poppin' champagne. MVP, you all know my name. All know my name. MVP, we all that we bang.
Verbal pictures like Van Gogh. First blood, no Rambo. Dungeon hard like Anvil. MVP. Listen, baby, I'm a handful.
Listen, baby, I'm a handful.
Schwarzenegger, go commando. I get belligerent, boot to your face and you know it's deliberate. VIP every day.
Yeah.
You know that I'm living it.
I'm living it.
You talking that shit, but I don't know your name. I'm not yet a Duggan, but still Hall of Fame. Private just not mine. I call trips all the time. I got trips on the line. I can use it anytime. Biz deals I'm brokering. Sticking rich, still motoring. Like indie fans know deodorant.
MVP, you all know my name. MVP, we all out we bang.
Look at my whip. Look at my wrist. Look at my chains. Look at my bitch.
MVP, you all know my name. MVP, we all out we bang.
From the bottom of the map
Do it like
to
me,
the
you don't
top.
do it the same. Look how she moving. She do it like whoa. She wanna fuck with a G. She wanna fuck with a pro.
Fuck with a pro.
I'm the real MVP. I'm the real MVP.
Miami, New York
I'm the
City.
real MVP. Yeah. Don't get DDT.
I'm right here, pen, I'm right here.
Yeah.
MVP, Poison Pen, way to blow.
Yeah, I'm with the one and only MVP of Poison Pen.
Wait up, black, what up, black?
Yeah, we in the back cave, you heard?
Son.
Yo, see me and Penn on Nostrand Avenue drinking whiskey. You know what time
We
it is.
outside, we don't do venues, man.
Yo, don't get that TV fucked up with real life, though. You know what I'm saying?
We do how we do what we do, nigga.
Yo, Penn, take us home.
MVP.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.